My dear people of the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Bamenda Highlands, I greet you all. Today we are going to take a deep dive into Dion Ngute, the Prime Minister of Cameroon's visit to Bamenda. We will diagnose different angles of his visit so we can extrapolate knowledge and make sense of what is going on behind the curtain, so you are not fooled this time around. If you are from the Tikar land, Northwest, I use Northwest so you don't miss out on what we are sharing on this platform. If one of your parents come from Northwest, you are Tikar. And so we welcome you and pay attention to this message, because this is a clarion call of duty for everyone who comes from the Tikar land. Let's take a look at that video.
Know when it will start, that is the problem.
Circumstances. I was here less than 2 months ago, and I made the promise that as I go back and report to the president, he has made it possible for his ministers to mobilize all the enterprises that are the companies that are to do the work. They are here. Bonds, Razel and the others, they are here. Edge, they are here to do this work, and work will effectively start. This is a promise of the head of state. He is one person who makes promises, realizes those promises.
The head of state makes promises and fulfills those promises. Sir, this is very detestable for you to look at the people of Bamenda and lie to their face for 42 years. I mean, even if you're not from Bamenda, is this an accurate statement coming from Honorable Dion Ngute? To look at the people of the Northwest region and lie to their face. Trust these politicians at your own risk. Let's keep watching.
And that's why I'm here to let the whole world and the public, Northwest and Bamenda, know that this is a reality. Just like the Babaju Bamenda road, which took time, but it has been completed. We see these roads will be completed.
Excellent.
What do you
chiefs as well as the president of the Northwest Regional Assembly and other dignitaries with some other ministers that don't come here. So that in my full market this, and I must say this so for carriage for this side, road dry, ghost town day, people the day for indoors and population not really outside that way, but
I just want to clarify something. You see, this market is predominantly built by the locals, not government. Not the government. Locals predominantly build this market. And any section of this market built by the government, you don't get it for free. You pay anywhere from 2.5 million francs up to 7.5 million francs to get a spot in that market. And that is amount that you can really buy a land or build your own spot and have people come around and buy from you. Make sense? So there's really nothing that the government is doing that warrants Dion Ngute coming to Bamenda just to stir up trouble and get innocent people in harm's way. This is bizarre. This is sad. And people from the Northwest, Dion Ngute is from the Southwest. And I want to ask you again, who have you seen appointed from the Northwest to go over to the Southwest to do what Dion Ngute is doing? He was appointed Prime Minister on the 4th of January 2019. for one purpose: to make sure that he calms down the people of the Southwest. Even with retaliation, he has done a good job at it. And they've sent him to Bamenda to speak to the people of Bamenda so they can go out and vote for CPDM. I mean, this is bizarre. There should be no one from the Anglophone zone, so-called Anglophone zone, that doesn't understand what is going on with this system. Let's keep watching.
Population people them about the courage for come out, for can sing, for can dance, for welcome Prime Minister today. And so as Prime Minister, they're looking forward for come out for my fall market camp, for go for bridge.
And I just want to draw your attention to something very important. Most of these people are coming from Bafoussam, not Bamenda. Most people from Bamenda are at home watching because they know the consequence of going out and having their faces on camera. So most of these individuals are from Bafoussam. Besides that, the people of Bamenda, Northwest, understand their pain and will not acquiesce to this manipulation. If the government knows that they are that tough and they really care about change, take that crew to Banso. Try it. Take your team to Banso, because that is our capital. That is the capital of the Tikar land. Take your crew to Banso. Then you will realize what time it is. Bamenda is our economic capital, not our political capital for the Tikar people. Let's keep watching.
Riders in their numbers.
This is the road leading to the Prime Minister's village. Honorable Dion Ngute, I want you to pay attention how narcissistic these individuals are, selfish, evil, even to their own people. If this is the road leading to Dion Ngute's village, those of the Northwest, you think they really care about you? If you don't care for the people from the same village you come from, you all of a sudden care about the people of Bamenda, you and your head of state. I mean, let's stop. These games are too cheap. Try another trick. Try another strategy. This is outdated. I mean, it's so bizarre doing something that people know already, why you're doing what you're doing, the outcome of what you're doing. I mean, and then you just want to play along with it for formality. Is that what you're doing? You guys should change your strategy, upgrade your strategy. Do something that makes us like, oh, let's think about what you're doing. This is absurd. But some people like to play along with it, right? And it's something familiar. So let's just go along with it. And it's predictable.
Ouais, sauf pas. Pauvre Gonotiti. People are suffering. Gonotiti wrote.
When people say they are suffering, I mean, when they come around with the 5,000s, the 1,000s, the breads and the sardines and the rice, reject them. It's that easy. Reject the bread and the sardine. Do not go out there and present an image that tells the world that you acquiesce to this system. For once in your life, fast and reject the bread and the sardine. That is the road to a Kondo Titi. And all of a sudden you care about Bamenda people. We have almost 1 million refugees in Nigeria. I'm sure approximately 700,000 comes from the Northwest. People of Northwest, we are the ones at the end of the day that will build this nation that we are embarking on building. No one will do it for us. Don't let anyone deceive you. Don't let a politician fool you. We are the ones who will do that. What are we going to do about these individuals? What are we going to do with the family of our fallen soldiers, the Tikar armies? What are we going to do? We will have to construct houses, embark on subsidized housing projects, where some of those people will return. Houses that might cost maybe 30,000 francs. We will say, oh, live in this house for free or pay 5,000. Maybe for a year until you get a job. Then you can start paying rent or you can choose to move out. We have to provide land and compensation for our fallen soldiers and their family and the heroes that make it to the end. That is why you can't pick up a mission that you will never have the blessings of your ancestors. I want to reiterate. The name Ambazonia comes from the Ambas Bay, Limbe. It used to be called Bimbia Isubu. Then they switched it to Victoria. Now it's Limbe. That is the port where your ancestors were shipped as slaves, sold as slaves by a chief in that area, Manga Williams of Bimbia. You can feel righteous, but if you don't have the backing of your ancestors, you will fail, even with guns, even with physical strength. We've never been this low before. It seems like we are getting worse over time. And I want to talk to us, especially those who say, oh, I'm a federalist. If people don't go out to vote, oh, you're giving all the votes to Paul Biya. And I want to clarify that. During the era of slavery and slave trade, individuals like Dion Ngute, and he is still playing that role, were called overseers. They were called middlemen because he's on a salary, has a position in the government. They were the ones enforcing discipline, making sure that the slaves are in check. That CDC plantation was built on the backs of slaves harvested from the Northwest and the West region. And the people of the Southwest and the chiefs benefited, split the profit coming out of the labor of our people in the Southwest. They are still there today. That is why you love Southwest. That is why you see many people from the Northwest migrating to the Southwest. Because over time, they have been harvested as slaves. They've gotten used to that system. They're working in there for minimum wage today. And all of a sudden, they go back to Bamenda, invite their neighbors, their friends, and say, oh, let's go to coast. That is why you see many people in the Southwest than in the Northwest. That is why plantations were established in the Southwest and not in the Northwest. That is why you see the fight is not that strong in the Southwest like it is in the Northwest. You saw what just happened in Batable. From what we are getting, most of these activities are done by the military and not the locals. They will do this to stir up trouble so they can make the people of the Northwest look bad before the war. When did the military begin to care about us that much? When? When have you seen that your entire life growing up in the Northwest, that the military cared about you that much? Let's wake up. So to those who think that this government will conduct a fair election where the right person will be appointed and we are going to have salvation, Wake up from that dream, my brother. Who has ever been elected president in Cameroon? Who? When you don't know your history, you will bask in this euphoria, this false hope. Who has ever been elected president in the history of this country? Again, you are being used by the system or by the enemy, encouraging those from the Northwest to go vote. You are being used by the system or the enemy, consciously or unconsciously, to think that this government has your best interest at heart. You are being used by the enemy, consciously or unconsciously, my brother, to run an opposition party that you think will fight this government and we will have freedom. That is depleted energy. Energy that we would have concentrated on one mission, restoring the Tikar heritage. We never signed any document with any colonial master. The Southwest did. We did not. They signed documents, signed treaties with the Portuguese, with the Germans. We did not. Be careful of those you yoke with. You were never brothers. Britain said so. Britain said you were brothers. And that is why you will never win any battle. Joining with the Southwest that sold your people. More than 200,000 are slaves. Your ancestors will never bless you. Never. You will fail and fail any mission that you have. You're not part of Cameroon. And this is what you should know. They've told you this in every way, shape, or form. You are the one thinking you are part of Cameroon. They have shown you that you are not part of this nation. They've said a Grafi man will never be president. That is why they stole the election from Ninjon Funzi. A Grafi man will never be president in this country. This is the thing. When you don't know your history, those who know your history, know where you come from, are watching you play these little games. They know you. They know these people have been slaves in this country. I've done all the research. Show you even our predecessors, those who came before us. Those who were captured as slaves. The Oprah Winfreys. These are descendants of slaves harvested from the Northwest. Blair Underwood. A man from Bamenda, and he has come down there in Cameroon. The video is on YouTube. I've shown you all these things. Right? If you don't know who you are, if your history started in Berlin, you are lost as a Tikar man. How old is your village? How old is the Tikar civilization? Your history started in 1885 in Berlin. Your existence is predicated on the box that you have been shaped into by the colonial masters. I'm asking you, who are you? Do you know your history? Everything in this world, my brothers and sisters, is energy. Energy is everything. Where your attention is, energy flows to that direction. And you might waste that energy because you have your attention on the wrong place. Just like the Ambazonia idea is still a colonial territory. Former British Southern Cameroon is a colonial territory. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Oh, the election is going to save you. Who has ever been elected president in this country? Where your attention goes, energy flows. These are scientific laws. You can't break them. If I get up every day, my attention is towards the liberation and transformation of our people. My energy flows to that direction. If you wake up every day in the morning, the first thing is, CPDM might change their mind and someone else will have an opportunity to lead us and my life will be better. If that is where your attention is, your energy flows. If you really believe that you have been part of this country and somehow, someday, a man from Bamenda will have equal opportunities in this country, where your attention goes, energy flows. These are scientific laws that you can't break. The results are going to be evident based on where your energy flows. Before 1472, we were a civilization. Settled that. We existed as a people, had a way of life, had trade and agriculture. We had community, had systems of government. Bansor alone, the system within Bansor has been studied in universities. In Yaoundé, archaeologists marvel at the system of government in Bansor, just one clan in the Tikar land. That is where you come from. This is the thing, my people. You see this system? It will take 50 years for these people to catch up with what I'm sharing here. And if you are trying to get them to change their minds, I want you to think about 50 years of your life that will be wasted for them to catch up. And when they catch up, they will pick up your idea, implement it. But now they're calling you crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. This is pseudo history. Tomorrow, they will pick up the same ideas in their various jurisdiction. At that moment, they won't even mention your name. So rise up, people from the Northwest. Issa Churoma used to say there was no Anglophone crisis, right? What has happened? He has flipped the switch. Now there is Anglophone crisis. Wake up. These things are displayed before your face. It is a deliberate choice not to see it. There was no Anglophone crisis. I was shocked, right? And I'm like, okay, what is he up to? He said, I'm going to go investigate. I'll ask the department in charge. But once I get the information, I'm going to tell you. I said, this guy is cool. This guy is an amazing dude. Not knowing it was a game all along. And he's testifying. I only do what the boss tells me to do. And I want you to pay attention to what Dion Ngute is doing. He's only doing what the boss tells him to do. And tomorrow he's going to abdicate responsibility. He will tell you, I was coaxed by this government. The government made me do it. Know who you are, know your history. Before 1472, we were a civilization. We were invaded by neighbors, coastal neighbors, Southwest, Douala and Kribi. The Northwest people, out of jealousy and envy, raided us and sold us as slaves. When you don't trust one another today and you ask yourself the question, where did this come from? Why is it that Northwest has more than 80 villages compared to the rest of the nation? Have you asked that question? Because they raided us as slaves, and the only way to escape slave raids was to break up into smaller tribes to avoid being captured. That's why. Some will tell you they were in search of fertile land. That is secondary. The primary reason was we were escaping slave raids. Do that research. Northwest has more tribes, more clans, more villages than any other region in this country. You are the prime target, and you've always been. Jealousy. They can't match your creativity. They can't match how articulate, smart, brilliant you are. When you can't get something, what do? Destroy it. That is the evil mind. But smart people No, if I can't beat them, I join them. And if Northwest people were in position of authority, this country will be a whole different place. Because look at it. When Albert Einstein was coming up with his theories, guess what? They called him crazy. Every time they call you crazy, no, you are exceptional. If you've gone to the doctor and they've diagnosed you and there's no problem with you and people are calling you crazy, no, you are ahead of your time. You are ahead of your time. Let's take a look at the roads in Ngute's village. If you still pick up that crown called Ambazonia, or the hope to be in Cameroon, this is the biggest ignorance I can think of in the 21st century. Honestly, after listening to me speak, go back and watch my videos. There's a lot of videos on this platform educating you on this. Don't just stop at one. This is a class. Go through it. And after going through that class, if you still think you should be part of CPDM or part of Amazonia, brother, all I can do is pray for you. I can't help. And smart people change their mind. Look at what is happening in America. Smart people change their mind. Ignorant people never change their mind. Smart people, when they see the truth, they pivot. Ignorant people, they keep going. The smart ones are picking up really fast what I'm sharing on this platform. While the ignorant ones, they will be like the fly that will follow the corpse into the grave. And all we can do is pray for them.
People are suffering. The population are suffering. Look at Mabunji. Look at. There is no way even to move. Come on. People are suffering. So, Pa, what do you want to tell the government now? Hey, Daddy? The road is bad. Even the car cannot move. Kumbayako Titi Road. Look at the road. There is no way. This is the route.
To say that is not enough, I want you to keep watching. In spite of all that the people are going through, you will still hear a politician from the Southwest. Northwest people, these are the people you're yoking with. Britain made you brothers. Britain, ask them how come did we become brothers? They will tell you Southern Cameroons. Britain made you brothers. When the Second World War ended, Britain said, this is your brother right now. After seeing all this, politicians from the Southwest will still get on camera and say, I will vote for Kobia. I mean, you have to diagnose such people to understand what is going on inside the brain. It's a mental problem. And I have a lot of empathy for those who will still rally out and march, sing songs, when individuals like this show up in town. You are a disgrace to be out there. No matter how you justify your reason for being out there, they should show up and the road is dry because nobody's coming out, because we are tired. Our actions should reflect how we feel inside. And all of a sudden, these individuals will change within a very short time. Oh, get out of our land. We don't want you in Bamenda. You are an overseer. You've played this role for centuries. It's not today. Your ancestors did it. They came and raided and captured our people as slaves and sold them. More than 200,000. Some of them died in the Middle Passage. Today they are using you to come deceive our people. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Our people are not in Southwest today by choice. They are there today and they have gone on to bring their brothers over. They did not come to the Southwest by choice. We have been a landlocked nation. We know it. We are going to create beaches. Dubai was a desert and they turned it into a beach, a thriving city. We will do that in Bamenda. We have amazing lakes that we can turn to beaches. We have enough natural resources in the Northwest to build a modern civilization. More than 35 to 40 UN recognized nations are smaller than Northwest. We have 17,300 square kilometers of land. Huge. We are 24 times the size of Singapore. We can make it, and we were a sovereign nation. And my people of the Northwest, the grounds on being indigenous people is stronger than anything because it has the backings of our ancestors, even before the so-called international community. This is how Roland got their independence, based on the grounds of being an indigenous people. Israel reclaimed that land and established a nation based on that same premise of being an indigenous people in that area. If you read your Bible, God sent their ancestors to that area. During the era of exile, they scattered across Europe, done their DNA, and returned to that land. This is a very strong claim that even the gods of this land will back us up. Our ancestors will back us up. They will never support you or protect you fighting a fight called Ambazonia. They will never support you or protect you being part of Cameroon, voting for Cameroon, creating a political party for Cameroon. I mean, SDF under Ninja Mfrundi did the unthinkable. If that did not make a Bamenda man become president, what else do you think is going to happen? What have you seen during this election that even comes close to what Ninja Mfrundi did for you to have hope that this system is going to help you? I'm asking you. Now let's think, bro. Let's think. Now that we are understanding our history, what has happened to us, this is a story that we can share globally. Ghana support if that is what we are looking at. But I believe with all my heart that we can free ourselves if we unite. And those who think that they can finance our cause and control what happens here, we say no to that. My people, many have come with finances. They've come with money. But they want me to sell this vision for a loaf of bread so that I can acquiesce to their agenda. And I've told them, and I'm making it publicly, this vision is not for sale. This greed for money is what has led us where we are. We have to get to the place where you see a vision that can save you, save your children and your children's children, and you finance it without the thought of manipulating the vision. If you manipulate it, it will get back to the same place where you find yourself. And I want you to think about that. We will build a modern Singapore in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Bamenda Highlands. We will do that in this generation. So leave our land. All the so-called Republic fighters, leave our land. Don't you get it? People don't want you in their land. We don't have any document which indicates we are part of Cameroon. So when you tell me you want to go vote, what are you doing? Are you enforcing the premise that you are part of Cameroon? Is there any legal document which says you joined and you were part of Cameroon? A plebiscite is not an indication. Even with a positive result from the plebiscite, is not an indication that we joined. Please, let's educate ourselves and know yourself and know your history. A positive result based on a plebiscite is not an indication of joining. Winning the popular vote doesn't indicate you joined. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in America, but was not the president of America. Do you get that? There is no federal constitution that was drafted with an input coming from the Anglophones to ratify any union in Cameroon. Do you get that? Whatever was dissolved in 1972 had nothing to do with a federation that was established, because no federation was established. What happened at Fumba was a party. Do you know what the federal constitution is all about? How it is drafted? Was any drafted? That is why Aijo could not ratify that at the UN. They could not do that. Because no legal, formal federal constitution was drafted at Fumba. Everything is a facade. Do you get it? Know your history, know who you are. We have never been part of anything. It doesn't matter whether you become a vice president in Cameroon or a prime minister in Cameroon. That doesn't indicate that you're part of this country. Do you get that? Because that is what people will try to hold you with. You can live and walk in America without documents. That doesn't make you an American. So working for someone doesn't mean that you're part of that family. Doesn't mean you own that company. Doesn't mean you're going to have an input when they are making decisions in that company. Do you get it? Know your history, know who you are, know your rights. Having mental clarity on this is enormous.
Cameroon government, help us. Help us.
That is a sad story I got of recent. A woman with her right senses from the southwest still went around with a book with a 92-year-old man. This is 2025, my people, 21st century. Shoving this down the throats of children in school, which violates the constitution of the same country. Northwest people, stay away from this. Stay away from this election. Stay away from these people. They are not part of you. This should be the first time in history you care about yourself than others. My brother, my brother. Britain, show you who your brother is. Our brother from the Mongo, our brother from our brother. How? So when you are feeling this individual is your brother, and they know in their heart that you are not, they know your history better than you. That is why they watch you say the things you say, and they pity your ignorance and use you for their advantage. Most indigents of the Southwest know the stories. They know how CDC was created. They know about the slave rate. Ninjon Frundi did not lose the election just because Pobia was that strong. There was an inside job from the Southwest, and therefore by default losing the election. And we know this. It was stronger than what happened in Yaoundé. Stay away. This should be the first time in history. You don't let black people do you. You turn around and say, this is my brother. Wake up.
As you heard, Group Management Division is a political sit-down of the CPDM. All our 3 councils are CPDM, our 3 parliamentary seats are CPDM, all our mayors are CPDM, and we voted consistently for the CPDM. So there's no doubt about the political atmosphere. We are ready to vote again 100% in the forthcoming election. And so our loyalty and fidelity to the CPDM and to the head of state is unconditional.
This man is from the Southwest as well. You see the conflict of visions that we have in this geographical location. Germany stitched together enemies and said they were brothers. And over time, we started believing that. And you start saying, this is my brother. The same with what Britain did. Northwest and Southwest. Over time, this is my brother. But those who understand who you are, they know what they did to you. They know how they see you. That is why they will call you even Graphi, Kamnogo, all of those names. You are not part of us. I identify more with my Sawa roots. These people are causing trouble in our land, and they come from the Northwest. Come, no go. How did we even come? Did we have the passion to come stay among you? No. We came there by force. We were captured and brought over there by you. You took guns from the white man, penetrated our land, and caused this atrocity on our people, on our civilization. So when you listen to someone like this, we've seen all the roads, seen what is going on in the Southwest. We don't have this culture in the Northwest. At least we think about the next generation. This is a culture. Even with this 141 years of German rule, British and French rule, but yet it can't erase more than 1,000 years of history that is embedded in our DNA. Whatever I'm sharing here, I'm sure it's speaking to the conscience, the soul of everyone coming from the Northwest and those from the Southwest. You know this. You think maybe you're 20, you're 30, you're 45 years old. What I'm sharing on this platform should evoke something in you. You're a descendant of people that did all the things I'm saying. And this is the reality, my people. So Germany will stitch people together, enemies together, people that came, captured your people for more than 400 years, sold them as slaves. And then all of a sudden, this same people now become your brother. You think that animosity disappeared? You think the conversation of how slaves were harvested from the Northwest has disappeared? And now we became brothers? Now let's just fuse in with this latter public system and everything has disappeared? Because tomorrow they will tell us, oh, you see, all these things Pobia did is not his fault. It's Frank's. Without Frank's, Pobia wouldn't have done this. The same thing, you see all the things that happened with Southwest and Northwest. It is not the people of the Southwest. It's not Chief Manga William. They did not really benefit from this plantation. It was the white man. I'm repeating. It's time to take responsibility, 100% responsibility. Dion Ngute, you coming into our land and doing what you're doing now, that has led to many people dying. You will be accountable for this. If Pobia sends you, think twice before you show up in Norwest. We don't want you in our land. You've hurt us even more than Pobia, and we know it. Your people have done this for generations, and we know it. And we are rising up today to the truth. So this is the reality, my people. Over time, people get to forget when stories are not transferred from one generation to another. It's like the first generation immigrants into America. Like us, we are first generation immigrants. There is a tendency that will have a strong connection back home. You get it? My children will not have that strong of a connection with back home like I do. And in the third and fourth generation, there is a high chance that most of those children will never want to return back home. These are historical facts. It has happened with almost every civilization. Today, it has dropped. Many people travel abroad, never return. So having people that are in America, Europe, or different parts of the world, having this kind of strong feeling for back home, don't take it lightly. And let's put our heads together and do something. Because back in the days, we're living in the social media era. Things have changed, right? Back in the days, you see someone like Kwame Nkrumah studied abroad, returned back home, and he's throwing a rally or putting a rally together. Guess what? People show up and they give their support. We didn't have social media. We didn't have opinionated people everywhere with their own ideas. We are living in a different dispensation. And we have to be extremely disciplined if we will come together and do something meaningful with our lives. Few people in this generation think about back home. But now, you have groups from different angles with different ideas. How can you make progress with an idea that you want to really help your people? Those who return united on a common vision. And that is why Ghana and other African countries got their independence and they were free. Now we are knowing the truth. We want to decolonize the minds of our people to be free from what Germany and Britain did. Find their identity, because this will change your life. This is a sacred stool that our ancestors carried. They carried a sacred stool. And this means a lot to us as Tikar people, Northwest people, a sacred stool. That is why we value a father's seat in the house. Say, pa each year. It means something to us. Because this is a symbol from antiquity. Our ancestors treasured this. And every kingdom in the Northwest know about this. We have strong values and strong traditions. We are not this. This corruption happened over time. If you believe in Cameroon, you believe in colonialism. If you believe in Southern Cameroons, you are a staunch believer of colonialism. Cameroon was created by Germany during the colonial era. So you are an enforcer of colonialism. If you believe in former British Southern Cameroons, you are a colonial enforcer. That is your role. You are saying we want to remain in a system created by these white folks. Because former British Southern Cameroon, that's why there's British on it. It was created by Britain. You don't know who you are and you're lost. And the reality is this, my people. This is not our culture, Tikar people. This is not who we are. We think about the next generation. Sacred stool our ancestors held, migrating from Sudan to Adamawa to the Bamenda Highlands, establish a civilization that they believed in, and that civilization was destroyed. That was a very critical point for us. That is why we returned to that moment when everything was ripped from us. Our people stolen, mistrust sowed among us. We have more tribes in the Northwest than any other region in this so-called nation called Cameroon. That is our history. Why? Because we're escaping slave raids. That is why we had to break up into smaller tribes. It was a strategy to escape being captured as slaves. And who did that? The Southwest people. Now, Germany has stitched you together, said you are Cameroonians. We said yes. Britain came, they call you former British Southern Cameroons. So if you acquiesce to the idea of Ambazonia, a name coming from a place where your ancestors were sold as slaves, you are an enforcer of colonialism and slavery and slave trade. If you have been doing that ignorantly, now you know. Those who have hope in Cameroon, where we have no sign, no indication that we join Cameroon. Our ancestors never signed any documents with the colonial masters. Does that make sense? We never signed any document with the Portuguese. Those in the southwest, King Manga William of Bimbia did. And so when you yoke with people that have all these contracts tied to colonialism, you are going to carry their sins by default. You are going to pick after any ill luck that comes with what their ancestors did. Does that make sense? That is how the world works, whether you like it or not. There's a saying here, you're some of the 5 people you hang around with. You hang around people that have all this baggage, it is going to rub off on you. You get it? We don't have this kind of culture. When a story about a people is not accurately, properly transferred from one generation to another, this is what happens. We've forgotten who we are. We've infused into this system and we have become corrupt. During the era of the independence of Ghana, almost 45 to 70% of those living abroad returned back home within a 10-year span to help build Ghana. We don't have that anymore. Very few people today return back home, right? Many end up abroad. That's changed. So when we have people that turn back to look at the nation, try to support, have input, we should value that and cooperate and support so that we can be able to build a nation that we will be proud of and know our history, carry ourselves around with pride. We've lost our identity. That is the truth. That is what colonialism did. That is what slavery did. It destroyed our identity. Many African Americans don't know that we were enslaved even in Cameroon to work in plantations in CDC. They don't know. They think they are the only ones who experienced slavery and slave trade because they were brought to America, the Caribbeans, and Brazil. But we went through slavery in Cameroon. It was harsh and cruel. We had overseers, fellow black people from the southwest. They were the ones saying, pick up the banana, pick up the rubber, clear the rubber. They were the ones instructing you to do that job because the master sent them to do that job and they had a cut, had a pay. They were the middlemen. Your identity has been messed up. Look at you today. You believe that your history started in Berlin, that a white man sat down and began your history for you. Every other history about you is superficial. It's pseudo-history. Your authentic history is the history that started in Berlin Conference. Is the history of former British Southern Cameroons. That is the history that you hold so strong you would defend it. But your own history has been forgotten. You don't know who you are. The territory and the box created by this colonial master, you want to fight to defend it with everything inside of you. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you know who you are and you channel that energy towards who you are, you will get the results, blessings of your ancestors, and you'll find freedom. How do you want your education system to change? Change from what to what? Without the history of your ancestors, without an understanding of who you are, what do you want this education system to change to? Does that make sense?
Come rain or shine, Cooper Maningoba Division will deliver the victory for the CPM in the regional elections and for the CPM's candidate, President Paul Biya, in the presidential elections of October 12th. So we are happy and
that is what they believe in. That is what they believe in. That is what they know and treasure that will bring about salvation for them. Those from the northwest in the southwest, start thinking of returning back home to defend your homeland. those from the northwest in Douala, Yaoundé, wherever you find yourself around the world, start thinking right now, if your life will mean something, to return home and defend your homeland. This is possible for us to achieve. During the era of the American independence, those who had lived in Britain, cut ties with Britain, returned and defended America, helped to shape the Constitution of America. Benjamin Franklin had lived in the UK for 16 years, broke away from Britain to support America. John Adams, many of them. I'm talking about the key influential figures, not the masses. Many returned, switched sides. Even those who defended British soldiers in court switched sides to support America. That is why the independence was possible. That is why today they have a nation that can provide for their people and provide opportunities for Africans to come over here, get jobs, and provide for their families back home. These were men that decided to pick up a cause that they believe in, that was rooted in conviction. What are we going to do in our lifetime that will provide for our children, that you can sleep at night and understand that what we are doing right now will provide for our children and our children's children? Not just the story buildings or the cars we drive abroad. What are we going to do in our generation? Value knowledge more than you value crumbs, money. Value your identity more than you value money, value cars, value houses. Because the people that you work for value those things. They value mission. They value purpose. That is why their passion for what they are pursuing is so insidious that you will leave your own country to come support them build what they believe in. That is what bush falling is all about. That you see a people from a distant country that are so passionate about what they are doing, prosperous in what they are doing, that you abandon what you are doing to come join them, help them achieve their own dreams.
Oppositions that they have created that want to enter Kupe Manuba, they should go elsewhere, because he helped us to create that division. We will remain with him till death separate us apart. So I am very confused because being the president of the Bangen sub-division campaign team, I was born in Bangen, I grew in Bangen before leaving Bangen to go in big towns so that I should have a better life. So I have a right to serve my people, and serve my people, and serve my beloved nation, and support President Paul Biya 100% all the time. Thank you.
Support President Paul Biya 100% all the time. That is Kupe Maningoba in the Southwest. And I want to leave you with this. Again, those from the Northwest, if this is hard for you to understand, watch this video like 2 times. Go on my channel, watch more videos. Don't just watch this, watch more. Go on my channel, watch all those videos. This is an education session. Oh, I'll leave you with this. Douala, Southwest, and Kribi, those are real Cameroonians. Those are the people that encountered the Portuguese. You see the coast? These are real Cameroonians. You are not part of Cameroon. Those who even tagged along the northeast and those from the east central, the Yaoundé, they joined the Cameroon created by Douala, Kribi, and the Southwest. These are real Cameroonians. It's their country, no doubt. She's right. You that are tagging along, you were a slave, you were warriors, smart, great. and it's still evident here today. Your civilization was destroyed by the Southwest, by Douala, by Krim. These are real Cameroonians. You are not a Cameroonian. And you're trying to vote in their country, trying to participate in their election. Today, you've assumed their identity. You're calling yourself, oh, I'm part of Cameroon. I'm a Cameroonian. This is part of our country. You're a colonial enforcer. That's your title, brother. Know that. You are enforcing colonialism. You think Ibrahim Traore would have been patient to go through an election and he would have done what he did in Burkina Faso? You think so? You don't think Ibrahim Traore believe in a democratic system that they can go vote to bring about change, and you have him on your tag line, you support him in your heart, you feel good about him? No, he would have gone through the democratic process. Based on international norms, that is a tyrant, but you support him. Here you are in Cameroon enforcing a political system that has failed for more than 60 years. 42 years in power, 92-year-old president, still standing. And we have overseers validating his candidacy. It is a disgrace. Wake up, my people. Again, we've created quite a lot, right? We've created a website where you can report an incident that is going on in Bamenda in the Northwest. You can upload the video or write something about what you saw anonymously. I'm going to put that in the description. So tikarnation.org is our primary website, but we have a lot of subdomains attached to that. So we're going to put that in the description as well. You get it? We are also setting up a system where we'll be able to do our DNA and connect with those in the diaspora that were captured as slaves. This is going to be amazing. This is a huge project. Like I'm telling you guys, we will have to construct subsidized housing, right? We'll do subsidized housing projects, and this subsidized housing projects is going to help those who are currently in exile. These are all projects and plans we have in the pipeline. There's a lot to do. All we need is support. Share this message far and wide. Let us see the entire United Kingdoms of Tikar, Northwest, on social media, in groups, WhatsApp groups, with this message of us reclaiming our sovereignty as the Tikar people, as a people that existed before colonialism, that have figured out who they are, and they are rising up to break away from a corrupt system that has done nothing but frustrate you, deceive you, lie to you, broke your spirit. Our entire life we have grown having military officers speaking French in our region, and you can't even express yourself freely as a local in the Northwest. In courts, classrooms, the same thing. They've done this for generations. And I'm repeating, Pobia is an apprentice to the Northeast, Southwest, and Douala people. Compared to what they have done to us for 400 years, plus and counting, Pobia is an apprentice. Wake up, my people. This is a clarion call of duty to everyone from the Northwest. Let's not be slow like those in the Third War. Let's pick up this message fast. Act fast. Before the enemy realizes what we are up to, we have our nation.